drumming circle and sing-along. Oh, we've been joined, we're online now, so welcome everybody online. So sing-along next Saturday, June 20th. Bring your own drum if you have one, and if not, we have percussion instruments, and we're glad to supply it. The drumming will be from 6 to 6:30. It will be led by David Rutland, and after that there'll be some singing, led by Ralph Leesberg, Joe, and Joanne. Elizabeth Betzel will be facilitating another one of her Circles of Trust on Tuesday, July 14th, here at the church. It will be focused on the blessings of summer, so more details will come later, but I'm sure Elizabeth can fill you in if you want some now. And finally, don't forget the annual summer concert on Saturday, July 18th. It's only a month from now, at 6 p.m. It will be on the back deck and lawn, if weather permits, and if it's too hot or too wet, we'll move inside. It's always a wonderful concert. So I think that's it for now. As always, we start with prayer, holding the highest in mind for heart and ourselves, each other, and our communities, and our world. And remember, you can always submit a prayer request anytime using the prayer request tab on our website, unitydelawareohio.org. So now, Linda and Joel will lead us into prayer with a song.
Take a slow breath in and let it go. And with the next breath, allow your body to settle and allow your mind to arrive. Spirit of life, divine presence moving through all things, we give thanks for this day and for the quiet miracle of this season. On this radiant morning, we gather in gratitude beneath the widening light of summer. As the earth leans toward the fullness of solstice, we pause to remember that we too are part of the sacred turning. The same divine intelligence that opens the lilies, ripens the berries, and calls the fireflies into the evening is alive with us, within us now. Open our hearts this morning to the truth of abundance, not as possession, but as participation in the great flow of giving and receiving. Help us remember that we are not separate from creation. We are woven into its sacred reciprocity. May we receive the gifts of this season with gratitude, and may we offer our own gifts freely, generously, and joyfully. Quiet the voices of fear and scarcity within us. Restore in us a trust deeper than anxiety, the trust that divine love is always moving, always creating, always sustaining. And where we've hidden our light, afraid to fully bloom into who we are, give us courage. Like the sun at solstice, may we shine without apology. Like the gardens in summer, may we bear fruit that nourishes others. And now I invite you to enter into a brief time of silence, simply noticing our breath, simply remembering that we are here with the divine presence that inhabits each one of us. In this stillness, we recognize the life of spirit within us, steady, present, and whole. This divine presence lives within each one of us this morning, in those joining us online, in those we are holding in our hearts, in every being in this world, enfolding us in love, protecting us, guiding us on our path, healing us, restoring us to wholeness, blessing us with every resource we need. Bless this gathering. Bless every heart here. Bless the words that will be spoken and the silence between them. May this morning awaken in us a deeper sense of connection to the earth, to one another, and to the divine presence living through all things. And so in gratitude and joy, we say, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. 1, 2, 3. Precious memories, unseen angels, sent from somewhere to my soul. How they linger ever near me, and the sacred past unfold. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever flood my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious Father, loving Mother, far across the lonely years, and old home scenes of my childhood, in fond memory of you. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever flood my soul.
Thank you, Linda and Joel. It's a wonderful reminder of the power of memory and how it can come in as a resource when we need it. All right. So, I'm like Joanne, I like to start with a little humor, kind of bring us into the moment. And it's not the best. My talk is related to the solstice. Guess what? There aren't any jokes about the solstice. So I had to get a little creative. So that, okay, well, summer's coming and gardening came up. So here are some gardening, not so good jokes, but hopefully they'll bring a smile. So when weeding, the best way to make sure you're removing a weed and not a valuable plant is to pull on it. If it comes out of the ground easily, it was a valuable plant. Probably had that. I was really drawn to this quote. It's from Sir Peter Smithers. He's a botanist and a politician, apparently. And he says, "I consider every plant hardy until I have killed it myself." And my mother has a green thumb that I did not inherit, so I have yet to meet a hardy plant, in my experience. If you may have noticed, however bare the lawn, grass will always appear in the cracks between the patio paving stones to dig out, yeah. The only way to ensure rain is to give the garden a good soaking. And this one might be my favorite of them. A toddler was found in the garden chewing on a slug. After the initial surge of disgust, the parents said, "Well, what does it taste like?" The toddler looked up and replied, "Worms." Maybe you remember those days of eating worms and dirt. We probably went through that. So we gather this morning at a threshold of the year, the approach of the summer solstice, that luminous turning point in the northern hemisphere where the earth leans fully into the light. The days are now long, the gardens are starting to overflow, roses are unfolding without hesitation, fireflies begin to flicker at dusk, tomatoes stretch toward ripening, and everywhere we look, creation seems to whisper the same message. There is enough. Life wants to give itself away. The summer solstice has been honored across cultures for thousands of years because human beings instinctively recognize something sacred in this season. It is a moment of fullness, a moment when light reaches its peak before the slow turning back towards darkness begins. The outer light of the summer solstice reminds us of our inner light. The solstice is not only happening in the sky, it is happening inside each one of us. The season of summer invites us to ask, where in my life am I being called to shine more fully? What old shadow is ready to dissolve in the presence of this love and light? How can I become a greater expression of divine light in the world? In Unity, we believe that there is a divine spark within every person, not just in some people, but in everyone. God is not distant from us. It lives as us, through us, expressing uniquely in every soul. So the question is not, do I have light? The question is, am I willing to let it shine? Sometimes we hesitate. Perhaps we fear judgment or failure. We may fear visibility, and we may fear change. And strangely enough, sometimes we even fear our own magnificence. Marianne Williamson articulates this beautifully in her poem entitled, Our Deepest Fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Solstice arrives every year as a spiritual reminder. Light was made to shine. And Marianne Williamson reminds us that as we let our light shine, we give other people permission to let their light shine. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Just as the sun rises without struggle, our soul longs to express its truth without fear. Jesus understood this deeply. In Matthew, he tells his followers, "Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Allowing our light to shine is not the only message the summer solstice brings. The wisdom of the solstice is the reminder that abundance is not something we possess. It is something we participate in, something we receive, something we circulate. In Unity, we often affirm abundance as a spiritual truth. We speak of divine substance, infinite possibility, and the ever-present flow of good. And these teachings are important. They help free us from the consciousness of lack and fear. But sometimes abundance can subtly become misunderstood as accumulation, as though spiritual maturity means gathering more and more for ourselves. Nature teaches us something different. A fruit tree doesn't eat its own apples. A river does not drink its own water. The sun doesn't keep its light. Creation flourishes through relationship, through exchange, through reciprocity. And this is where the beautiful wisdom of Robin Wall Kimmerer speaks so deeply to the season. In her essay called The Serviceberry, Kimmerer reflects on the humble serviceberry tree, a tree that offers its fruit freely and abundantly to birds, animals, and humans alike. She contrasts what she calls the gift economy of nature with the scarcity-driven mindset so common in modern culture. The serviceberry does not count how many berries each bird takes, and the bees do not invoice the flowers. The earth gives itself continuously in a sacred cycle of mutual nourishment. Kimmerer writes that all flourishing is mutual. What a profound spiritual insight, because separation is one of the great illusions of our human experience. The ego says, "What can I get?" But spirit asks, "How can I participate in the flow of giving and receiving?" In answer to this last question about participation, Robin shares a powerful story from a hunter-gatherer community in the Brazilian rainforest. A hunter brought home a sizable kill, far too much to be eaten by his family. An anthropologist who was studying this community asked the hunter how he was going to store the excess. Smoking and drying technologies were well known in this community, so storage was possible. The hunter was puzzled by the question. Store the meat? Why would he do that? Instead, he sent out an invitation to a feast, and soon neighboring families were gathered around his fire until every last morsel was consumed. This seemed like maladaptive behavior to the anthropologist, who asked again, given the uncertainty of meat in the forest, why didn't the hunter store the meat for himself for later use? "Store my meat?" replied the hunter. "I do store my meat in the belly of my neighbor." The solstice reminds us that life itself is generosity. The sun pours itself endlessly upon the earth. The soil offers nourishment to the seed. The rains come without demanding repayment. And somehow, mysteriously, everything belongs to everything else. This is not transactional, it's relational. And I think many of us are hungry for this kind of remembering. We live in a culture that often tells us we must earn our worth, protect our portion, compete for enoughness. We are taught to measure success by ownership, productivity, and consumption. But our souls know another language. We feel it when someone offers kindness with no agenda. We feel it around a shared meal. We feel it when neighbors help one another after a storm. We feel it when we sit quietly in the garden and suddenly realize everything is cooperating. Even the wildflowers are participating in community. The spiritual journey is not only about awakening to divine abundance, it is also about learning how to enter the sacred circulation of abundance, to become trustworthy stewards of what flows through us, because hoarded abundance becomes stagnant. Circulating abundance becomes life-giving. This is true of money, of love, of wisdom, of attention, of compassion. Most of us have, at one time or another, stepped into what Robin Wall Kimmerer calls the sacred circulation of abundance, the flow of giving and receiving that reminds us that we are connected to one another. I remember one such moment quite vividly. Several years ago, I was walking into Brassica and Bexley with a couple of colleagues of mine to go to lunch. And a well-dressed gentleman approached us and asked us if we could help him with bus fare. Something about his energy, about his presence, caught my attention. And I reached into my purse to see what bills I was carrying, and I discovered that the only cash I had were some $20 bills. And for a brief moment, I hesitated. Then a simple realization arose. He needed this money more than I did. I handed him a $20 bill and said, "I think you need this more than I do." And his face registered both surprise and gratitude, and I received a hug from that donation. My colleagues were quick to caution me, however. They questioned whether I should be giving that much money away to a stranger. Not much money now, but this was several years ago when this happened. And I replied that parting with the $20 wasn't going to change my life significantly. But as it turned out, I was wrong. It did change my life, not financially, but spiritually in that moment. I experienced the quiet joy that comes from trusting abundance rather than scarcity. I felt myself becoming a part of something larger than just a simple exchange of money. To this day, I remember not the $20 I gave away, but the blessing of participating in the sacred circulation of abundance. And I believe this is true because we are so programmed to live in scarcity that when we break out of the mass consciousness, those moments stay with us. And they're powerful. They're like the precious memories that we heard about in the song before the service, before the talk. Jesus teaches us of the necessity of reciprocity. Freely you have received, freely give. We are not to give out of obligation, but as an alignment with divine law. And I will say that giving out of obligation isn't bad. It's just that we don't get the blessings when we give out of obligation and guilt. The universe itself is constantly giving and receiving. Our bodies, we breathe in and we breathe out. We breathe in the oxygen, we breathe out the carbon dioxide that the trees need. The tide comes and the tide goes. The moon waxes and the moon wanes. Even this moment in the solar year teaches us this truth. The solstice is a fullness, beautiful, beautiful fullness, but it's not of permanence. Guess what happens the day after summer solstice? The days start to shorten. And there's wisdom in that too. Sometimes we want to hold on to our brightest moments forever. But spiritual life is not about freezing life at its peak. It is about trusting the cycles. There are seasons for planting. There are seasons for blooming. There are seasons for harvesting. There are seasons for rest. The earth never apologizes for changing. And perhaps we do not need to apologize for our own seasons either. Maybe abundance is not the absence of change. Maybe abundance is trust in the ongoing generosity of life itself, knowing that even after winter, spring returns. Even after loss, love returns. Even after despair, joy returns. And perhaps the deepest invitation of solstice is gratitude. Not the gratitude that merely says thank you out of politeness, but the kind of gratitude that changes how we live. Kimmerer suggests that gratitude naturally leads to reciprocity. When we truly understand life as a gift, we begin to ask, how shall I respond? How shall I give back to the world that sustains me? This is not a practice motivated by guilt or obligation. This is a spiritual practice of participation. Maybe your reciprocity is offering encouragement to someone who feels alone. Maybe it is caring for the earth more tenderly. Maybe it is sharing your resources. Maybe it is bringing your full presence into a conversation. Maybe it's creating a space for deep listening for another. Maybe it is allowing your gifts to ripen instead of hiding them away. The garden does not bloom for itself alone, and neither do we. The summer solstice calls us into the radiant heart of enoughness. Enough light, enough beauty, enough grace, enough love to share. not because the outer world is always easy, but because divine life continues to flow beneath all appearances. So this week, I invite us to practice solstice consciousness. Spend a little time outdoors if you can. Notice what is flourishing around you. Notice what is being given freely. And then gently ask yourself, where am I being invited to trust abundance more deeply? Where am I being invited to live in reciprocity? What wants to flow through me instead of to me? Because we are not separate from the sacred exchange. We are participants in it. Like the trees, like the rivers, like the serviceberry, we are children of the same generous mystery. And as we remember this, perhaps we become a little more luminous ourselves. May we live in the light, not only receiving it, but becoming it. Let's close in a word of prayer. As we prepare to leave this place today, may we trust the divine rhythm of our lives. May we celebrate abundance without attachment. May we honor both light and shadow as teachers. May we become radiant expressions of God's love in the world. And may the light within us continue to shine boldly, gently, and beautifully. And with heartfelt gratitude, we proclaim, and so it is. Amen.
One, two, three, four. When I'm tossed upon life's sea, and those old waves trouble me, and it seems that there's no refuge I can find. Well, I know that there's a place, it's a haven of sweet rest, a mighty tower that will stand the test of time. Lead me to the rock, lead me to the rock. It's a rock of inspiration, sure and firm foundation. Spirit is the rock on which I stand, all other ground is sinking sand. Lead me to the rock that's hidden inside. I will not be afraid, nor will I be dismayed. God hides me in the hollow of his hand. There is nothing that can harm me, there is nothing to alarm me, for I found a refuge in the very land. Lead me to the rock, lead me to the rock. It's a rock of inspiration, sure and firm foundation. Spirit is the rock on which I stand, all other ground is sinking sand. Lead me to the rock that's hidden inside. Yes, it's a rock of inspiration, sure and firm foundation. Spirit is the rock on which I stand, all other ground is sinking sand. Lead me to the rock that's hidden inside. Lead me to the rock that's hidden inside.
First of all, thank you, Elizabeth, for a wonderful message you shared from your abundance today with us.
Yes.
And, of course, thank you, Linda, Joel. Wonderful music again. More thanks to our AV technician, Michael Contras, who overcame some internet problems today. Thank you. Of course, we want to thank everybody who's brought refreshments today. I'm not sure who. Everybody today, so we have a lot of good food back there. Again, thank you for all who keep us going with your tithes and donations. We appreciate this. A quick recap of the many announcements I made before. Peter, Paul, and Mary concert. Bill Cohn is doing that this afternoon, 4 o'clock, at the Unitarian Church on 93 West Weisheimer. It's always a great performance. Unity Men's Dinner will be this week on Wednesday, June 17th at 6 p.m. at the Rusty Bucket. On Saturday, coming up next Saturday, we have the Summer Solstice Drumming Circle and Sing-Along, led by David Rutland doing the drumming, and afterwards will be led by Ralph and Joe and Joanne with some good singing. Again, Elizabeth Betzel will be facilitating another Circles of Trust on July 14th. And don't forget the summer concert coming up July 18th at 6 p.m. It'll be on the back lawn. Are there any other announcements? Okay, then let's look up for our peace song.
Of God watches over us wherever we are.